Another option on your classwork page is to create a question. When you choose the question option, you have the ability to ask a poll question or a discussion board question. Let's first look at a poll. I clicked create and now I click on question. Once I'm here, I can simply ask my question. If I leave it on short answer, that will leave it as a discussion board. If I change short answer to multiple choice, I then have the ability to add different options. Once you have your options ready, you can link in any additional materials that you would like. You can assign a point value to your question if you choose to, or you can choose to make it ungraded. You can add a due date, and you can also assign a topic. At the very bottom, you have the option to allow students to see the class summary. So they won't see what students said what, but they'll see a summary of the class responses. Let's go ahead and click Ask. You'll see that the icon next to the question has a question mark to it. And if I click on it as a teacher, I'll be able to quickly see how many students answered in which way. I can then click on any of the responses and see which students chose that answer. Let's flip over to a student and answer this question. The student will see the question, and when they click on it, right here on the classwork page, they can select their answer, and then they can click Turn In at the bottom. It'll ask if you're sure you want to turn in and say you can't make changes after you submit, and then the student can click Turn In. Here is the summary that the student can see. So the student is able to see how many students answered in each way, but isn't able to see which student said what. Let's take a look back at the teacher's view. Right away, the teacher can see that there has been a response. And if I click on View Question, I'll be able to select the answer and see which students answered in that way. Off to the left-hand side, you have the ability to sort by answer, by last name, first name, or by status, meaning have they turned it in yet or not. If you choose by answer, it'll put each answer, and then below it, the students who responded in that way. If this is a question that has a right or wrong answer, you can quickly and easily see which students got it right or got it wrong. Now let's take a look at adding a discussion board question. This time when I click Create and I choose Question, I'm going to leave it on Short Answer, and I'll type in my question. I can add any instructions that I want. Maybe I want to tell students that they must have at least 500 words. And if I want, I can add in any additional material that I would like. Off to the right then, it looks very similar to what we've seen before. The changes are at the bottom. With a discussion or short answer question, you can allow students to reply to each other. If you don't want them to, you can turn that off. You can also allow students to edit their answer if you want them to be able to go back and fix a mistake. Once you have everything set up as you would like, you can click Ask. Notice that you also have the drop-down arrow next to Ask. You can choose with this as well to schedule the question to appear at a specific date and time. You can also save it as a draft and post it when you are ready. Let's take a look at what a discussion question would look like for a student. For a student, they'll see the question and the instructions. They'll then be able to type their answer in this small box in the upper right-hand corner. You may want to tell your students to first type their response in a Google Doc, and then they can copy and paste it over if it's something that's a little bit longer. After the student has put in their response, they click Turn In. Once a student has turned in their own response, they have the option to see their classmates' answers. Let's go ahead and take a look at the classmates' answers. As a student, I can scroll down and see what each student wrote. And you'll see underneath each student, it'll show if there are any replies. When I click on the replies, I see what each classmate said to that student. If I want to reply, I can click on reply and I can type my comment right here. This is a great way to get students talking in your classroom through an online discussion board.